Are we ready to start?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Here.
Looks like you need to turn on some AC in the satellite studio in St.
I
Pete.
did. I just turned it on. I had the window and the door open all night because it was cool, and now it's a little stuffy. And I just got out of the shower. You know how it is. Like,
I know.
You get out of the shower, you're so all hot and sweaty.
I know exactly how it is.
I had to do all the manscaping. I had to get my apocalypse do done. I had to color my beard because even if it's the apocalypse, I'm not a savage, so I didn't want to look like. So
well, now it matches mine, so that's
my
good.
Body temperature hasn't come down yet. Yeah.
We're actually see, look. But the thing is, I don't have to dye mine. Mine's just natural.
That's all right, man. That's all right.
That's fine though.
That's fine. I don't mind. The gray works. It's just like customization thing. I don't mind the gray. But when it's this long and it's gray and it gets a little wiry, it looks a little unkempt. That's why I put color in it, so it looks a little
cleaned up a little bit.
A little more cleaned up. It doesn't look nasty. It doesn't look messed up.
So let's harken back to episode 12 of Technically Directors. We talked a lot about our haircut routine, right? I'm a great clips guy.
On Technically Directors.
Previously on Technically Directors. And you've specified that you have gone to sport clips for years, many years, and that's your routine. We all have our thing that we do, right? Obviously, quarantine time, not so much. It's not really something that has been feasible anymore. All these places are closed. Everything's closed. So everybody's looking. They're like, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and either grow this stuff out and just look kind of unkempt, if you will, or it's time to go ahead and take things matters into your own hands and give yourselves your own haircuts. And I can clearly see that you've been doing yours, but it looks good. You've got what is that, like a 1-2 guard, like throughout the whole thing, or what? You just.
Well, it's like I use my beard trimmer.
Right, same.
Because I don't have clippers.
Yeah.
So it's a 4 guard on it.
Okay.
But it would probably come out to like a 1 or 2 guard on an actual set of clippers. Yeah.
So I've been trying to perfect the fade. I'm trying to do my best to. It's a hard thing to do, but I feel like I've been practicing for the past couple weeks, and it's not too bad. It's shorter down at the bottom. It looks pretty good. I'm actually almost to the point where when Great Clips reopens, I may just not even go. No, I'm good. I'll save myself my $12 and my tip.
I thought you were going to say you were going to have like a side hustle.
Oh, you mean, what do you mean, like start doing this professionally?
Yeah. Like you get a job at Sport Clips, Great Clips, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, just go in on Saturdays.
Yeah, why not?
Saturdays. Or just open a barbershop. Kyle's Cuts.
Kyle's Cuts. With a K. With a K. Exactly. That would be good. That would be good.
Get yourself one of those barber poles. Just stick it outside, like where you've got all those flags you always put up outside your house.
Exactly.
Just put up a barber pole.
And then
let people come by.
If you build it, they will come.
Up outside. Set it up
outside.
outside.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah. Put out like a felt, make it look like a baseball diamond.
Oh, I like that.
And have home plate is where the customers come and sit and they get their haircut.
Right.
And you talk their ears off.
That's good.
You could talk to them about Technically Directors.
I could.
You apparently you I don't know what you've done with our Instagram, but it is driving me up the fucking wall.
Well,
non-stop fucking notifications of these random pages accepting our follow requests.
The price of fame, okay? You can't complain. These
are like all Russian bots. This is no good. This is not helping anything.
This is not what you want, right?
It's super.
All annoying. I'm saying is that we're blowing up.
It's incessant. It's all day.
We're blowing up on social, and it's not so bad, man.
I know these aren't actual followers.
We've got like 15,000 likes on that last picture.
What? How many?
Like 15,000 likes? No, maybe what?
15,000?
Oh, maybe 1,500. 1,500 likes?
Those are Kylie Jenner numbers, man. We're not up there.
I'm bad with numbers. I'm bad with math.
Even with the bots.
I think it was 1,5. So yeah, that's like 1,500 something on that last picture. It's pretty good.
1,5. Yeah, that's 1,000.
That's 1,500.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, whatever.
That's second grade stuff, man.
Oh man. So
you moved around a lot. You missed the numbers part.
Yeah. Numbers and I never really got along. It took me a lot to. I still don't know, all my multiplication tables. I just remember that being a very dark time in my life. It's very hard to master. Yeah, it's really not.
We have calculators in our pocket.
I mean, did they not think that people would ever have access to a calculator back in the day? I mean, come on. It's just not necessary.
They used to say, remember when we were kids, like, why do I need to know this?
Right.
I could just use a calculator. And they're like, you're not going to walk around with a calculator in your pocket all the time. Joke's on you.
Touche. Yeah.
Touche.
Oh, man.
What's on your card?
Ridiculous.
That you stole.
Yeah, I did. I definitely stole. So I've got a couple things lined up. Obviously,
this is another thing.
What's that?
Where I have a great idea, or I have a great tool, and you make fun of it, and then you turn around and use the tool.
I don't understand.
You did the same thing with my shoulder bag. You made fun of my shoulder bag.
Yeah, right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You remember that?
I did do that, yeah.
You made fun of my shoulder bag.
Busch Gardens, yeah.
And then at Busch Gardens, you were like, hey, can I try that on? I might want to take that to Disney World.
Right,
and
right.
You did. And now you gave me a hard time about these. Like, where are your Post-it notes that you talked about? You said you got Post-it notes?
Yeah.
You prefer the Post-it note system?
So
then you roll up and you're like, oh, I got nothing to write on. Like, where are all your Post-it notes?
So
your Post-it notes? Well, you got to use my stuff.
Due to this quarantine time that we're in, my desk has been moved from my normal spot to the back corner of the room, like the back of the office, back where, the
back of the building.
Important people sit.
Like where you put Milton.
Yes, exactly. I feel exactly like Milton when he got moved down to the basement. Yeah. So I have like a very minimal selection of things back there. I have like, what do I have? Like my pen and a small bottle of hand sanitizer, and that's about it. It's really not much. My computer has been moved back there, so I have to sit there to use my computer and whatever. And that's the thing. I have a plant. I have a live plant.
Do you tell me why that you don't have Post-it notes? And you're using my
what I'm saying is I have no Post-it notes there. I do have Post-it notes at my old desk, but there's no computer there, so I don't sit there anymore. So I sit at your desk at night. My desk, my new desk in the back, which has no Post-it notes.
To be sitting there.
Yeah, like who's gonna stop me? So anyway, so I sit at your desk for the second half of the evening, if you will, and last night I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, we're gonna be podcasting a new episode of Technically Directors tomorrow. Let me go ahead and throw down some notes, and I'm looking around and I'm like, I've got nothing. Oh, you know what? There's a stack of note cards right in front of me. I'm gonna go ahead and use this. So there you go. If you had a Post-it note thing, I would have used that.
So for the people listening, you're sitting at my desk.
Yes.
Which is adjacent to your old desk where your Post-it notes are.
Correct.
So why are you using my index cards instead of your Post-it notes? I don't get it.
Because that's where I'm sitting. What you expect me to walk around the desk
and walk around
just to get a stack of Post-it notes? I mean, come on.
I'm just saying you made a big deal about the Post-it notes and how I didn't need. No, Post-it notes are better than index cards.
I told you it was a good idea. I said that's a smart idea. I said, hey, if you go ahead and you want to jot some things down when you're thinking about them, more power to you. That's great. Yeah. That's a good idea. Okay. So I noticed you've got a Post-it note in your hand or index card in your hand, but you did you grab that last week? Because you're not coming in to work on a daily basis anymore. So did you grab that?
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? You're sitting at my desk and you saw the index cards, yet I have index cards here too.
Yes, so that's what do you have some at the house?
I split them.
Oh, you split them. Okay.
I keep them in my bag.
Ah, there you go.
Which you've also made fun of, right? So I leave some. Those are actually my work index cards.
Okay.
So I can write notes about work things and tasks I need to do.
Gotcha.
And then I have index cards in my bag, which is with me all the time. So if I have a podcast idea, I write it down on that.
Perfect.
You see how full this card is?
Yeah, I do.
This is one item.
That's one item?
This is all one item. This is a tease. This is all one item. It's a full card, but it's all one thing.
Bring it closer to the thing. Because it's dark. I can't see how much text is on that card.
I'm not trying to show it to you. I'm not trying to
show it to you. Oh, okay. Now I see that it's okay. Things are written on it. Okay, that's all I wanted to see.
Things are written on it.
Okay, because you're back here and there's a glare and it just looks white. I couldn't really see.
So. I was looking at the thing. You could see words are there. Look, I'm looking at it.
Yeah. All right.
I can see the words.
It's
there.
A little maybe.
So I did that.
Well, see, you're also on your laptop. I am using my phone, so my images are a little smaller than I'm sure your video screens are on the phone. So, do you have me big and you small? Is that or is it the other way around?
We're the same size.
That's what I'm using too.
We're in double boxes.
That's adorable. That's exactly what I'm using too. Look at that. That's great.
I'm thinking about minimizing you so I can only see me though.
Oh, that's messed up, man. That's messed up. So, you're talking about working from home, obviously not being in the office. That was one of my topics on my card here today. I wanted to go ahead and mention. I want you to give me like a day in the life, a work day in the life
No.
of Seth L. Sullins?
No way.
Come on, man.
I'm not going to tell you that. I'll give you a glimpse, but I'm not telling you everything.
No, I mean, you don't have to go into too many details, but I just want to know,
they'll stop paying me.
how is the new normal for you?
It's not great.
It's not great.
It's not great. No, well, I'm a director, so
right.
Working from home, I'm not really doing my job. It's cool to be fridge adjacent. So anytime I want a snack, I can just go get a snack, and it doesn't cost $5.
Right.
I've already bought it. It's everything there. It's already paid for it. My bathroom's real close by. My dog is around, so I can take little walks with him. You know, he mostly just sleeps though.
Right.
It's the part about it that I don't like is, first of all, you working at home. So when you're at home, you're also at work.
Right.
Like if you're on the clock during this time, you can't really relax. And your home is where you're supposed to be relaxing.
Right.
You know, it's where you can be like, this is my sanctuary.
So you're like mixing work and pleasure, and it's not it's like, oh wait, it's, you know,
not pleasure, but just like, this is my safe space where
you don't want to take work into
here.
Exactly.
Right. And now work is here, you know? So there's that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And there hasn't been much guidance and structure on what I'm supposed to be doing. It's just a little bit random.
Yeah.
Which makes it really hard to stay motivated.
Because you know that there are eyes other places, and if I don't get to that, it's not a big deal.
It's not that. It's just more like, I want to know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm doing something, I don't want someone else to be like, oh, I already did that. Or like whenever I started at 3.
Yeah.
And someone else starts at 9. So I come in at 3 and everything's done. I'm like, well, then why am I here?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what? Let me just sit here and do nothing. You know, like, or maybe you don't touch this show. That's the show I touch.
Right.
Like
some type of show assignments would still be beneficial.
Just any kind of structure whatsoever.
Yeah.
Would be great. And there is none. So it's I would rather be at work.
Yeah.
I would rather be there.
Because you know what you're doing when you're at work. You know what you're supposed to be doing.
I have all the tools there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bright side or an upside to working at home. Like, I don't have to drive.
Right. Saving money on gas. That's important.
Saving money on gas. I don't have to drive. I can wear whatever I want.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Or not wear whatever I want.
Yeah. Yeah. I still get up and I take a shower. I get ready.
Right.
You know?
And they say you're supposed to still continue a routine. Like, don't get into I'm going to stay in my pajamas all day type mentality.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I take breaks whenever.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is if I reach out, I'm like, hey, I can do this, or that, or if I have a question, I don't get an answer in 15, 30 minutes. I'm like, I guess you don't need me. I'm going to go to lunch.
Yeah.
Like, I have 3 lunches a day.
3 lunches a day. It's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm bad at, keeping an eye on our Microsoft Teams app. So, sometimes I'll come into the booth and then, Shane will be like, oh yeah, I saw that, so-and-so said that on Teams. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't, because I don't get the notifications. I don't have that setting on my phone for any time somebody types anything. So I have to just constantly look at it. Yeah.
You just turn it on.
No, I've got it on. I mean, I look at it periodically, but I mean, if I'm, and I've lately been on this schedule of show up to the control room and then just sit in the AD chair, not do anything for 2.5 hours. And so that's kind of where I've been for a week in my state of excitement at work. So that's been enjoyable. My
work setup is you don't notice Teams. I've got the work laptop.
Yeah.
Which is tiny. It's super tiny.
Right.
So I didn't want anything else on it. I only wanted iNews or ENPS on it.
Uh-huh.
So that's all that's on it. Although the team stuff comes up on it automatically.
Right.
And I minimize it. And then I have my laptop over on the side, and it has Teams on one side. It has Facebook Messenger up on the other side, on the screen, split screen.
Gotcha.
because there's there's that PM group.
Yeah.
But so I've got
So you've got your eyes on the
got
pulse
that
the whole
messenger.
time.
But the thing is like there's like 7 different fucking pulses. You've got a group that's got like Liz, Ryan, and Daniel in it.
Right.
On Messenger. Emily doesn't use that at all. Emily, the other day on Wednesday, I wasn't supposed to clock in until 3:30. She's producing the 4. She texts me at like 3:00 to tell me about changes at 4, and I'm like, okay, but
not on the clock.
Todd's directing it, so like you gotta, then I gotta get up. I go over to my other computer, put in Teams. Hey Todd, this change is happening before I'm even on the clock or whatever.
I saw that.
So you get that like people don't know who's doing what because there's no fucking structure.
Exactly.
So and she's like, oh yeah, my bad, but I'm gonna tell you like 3 more things and then I'll leave you alone. Like, okay, I guess I'm just starting now.
Like, all right, my day has officially started. So
and the in and out is so gray. You know what I mean? Because like I'm not gonna like stay until 11:30 when there's 2 people sitting there.
That's the thing that gets
me.
And
like
then
on Wednesday,
all
also
4 of us?
Adam's there.
What the hell is the point of that? Like, there's no reason.
Yeah.
No reason. Yeah. I don't understand.
Sometimes I clock out early.
Okay, that's what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I won't tell your boss.
Thanks. But sometimes I start early. You know what I mean?
Oh, so it all works.
Because I got to set everything up. Because I'm not just going to leave it all up.
Right.
So like part of the setup is like, to me, like to be ready at 3:00, ready to go. I got to start at 2:30 to get everything set up and organized and everything.
Right.
And then Daisy is here working from here too.
And she starts earlier. She's during the day, right?
Right. So
she's already
she's doing like a live hit at the time that I start.
Gotcha.
So I help her set up all of her live hit at the lights and the divider and the plant.
Yeah.
Get everything good.
We've seen the plant.
And then so she's using a phone. She's using a phone for her script. She's using a phone for her camera, and then she's using my phone for her IFB.
Oh wow. That's a big setup. You've got like a whole. So you've got 2. I mean, you're like Adam, because Adam's got his. He's got Natalie doing her set from home. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. You guys have
Except that's a house divided because she's a competitor. This is the same.
That's true. That's true.
Here it's the same company.
Right.
I think I'm going to send a bill to the company like for renting out the studio space.
Yeah.
And, like, hey, by the way,
home office.
I'll do that if I get furloughed. If I get furloughed, I'll be like, oh, well, here's a bill.
Yeah.
So
just write it all off on your taxes because that's all like work expenses now.
That's not how it works, but all right.
All right.
You have to do it for like 6 months and at least 6 months.
Okay. I haven't looked into that.
Hopefully that's not the case.
We shall see, man. That's the thing. And then that is, that's a good point that you mentioned there. Hopefully that's not the case. That's the hardest thing about this is that there's no end date. If you go ahead and say, okay, look, for a month, we need to divide things up, work from home, whatever, okay, and then this date, boom, everything returns back to normal. Fine, great, no problem. Look forward to it, get through with whatever we need to, and that's fine. Not having a end date is I feel, the most stressful part of all this. Is it a month? Is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? Is it a year? We have no idea how long this new normal is supposed to go on for.
Yeah, I struggle with that a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about before. I just try to. I keep in mind that it's going to be long term, but I only focus on the immediate, like what's in front of me. What can I control right in front of me?
Right.
And also now a new stress for me is that I fear because people are getting stir crazy, and the economy's tanking, and things are hard, that people will try to rush into getting back to normal.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Which would make things significantly worse.
Exactly.
So we have a saying around here, like, we don't care if the country's open, we're closed.
I saw that.
Like, we're closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just it. Like, we dictate when we start going into crowds again or anything like that.
Which is the way it should be.
Yeah.
Not someone
you have to
in DC saying, okay, now you can go out and go to a sporting event or a crowd or, or hang out in large groups, whatever. Yeah. That's not how it works.
I miss my microphone.
You miss the setup, the arm, I'm
going to get my microphone this weekend and set it up for real.
Okay. All right.
You left it at my desk, right?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So that's
You took an index card and you left you took an index card. You left a microphone.
Actually, I used the Post-it for that since I left it at my desk. It's at my desk. That's where the picture was. Since my desk is empty, so there's lots of room. So I left it right there with a Post-it.
I noticed you wrote Seth L. Sullins.
Yes, I did.
Very formal.
Make sure that the other Seth Sullins doesn't show up there and be like, oh, this has my name on it.
There is one other Seth Sullins. He lives in Arkansas.
Oh, okay. Look at that. But he's not in our
building.
He's
like a third cousin.
So it's not.
No, he's probably not going to come by.
Yeah, no, it should be all right. So anyway, yeah, that's at my desk.
That's why I have to have the L.
Labeled with a Post-it note that I grabbed from my drawer since I was at my desk. And I'm like, oh, look, I'm going to use my Post-it note, which I have here at my desk. So anyway, so yeah, when you grab that, maybe when you set that up next week, and then we'll go ahead and test it. Maybe your audio will sound a little bit different, a little bit better, because right now you're just using the microphone from your laptop, right?
My earbuds.
Oh, the earbuds microphone, right? So,
right. Yeah. Okay. I guess that is where it's coming from.
Yeah,
that
is definitely. Yeah, that's definitely where it's coming from. Yes, 100%. We didn't test that. So yeah.
I just assumed it was working.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. So,
what's on your card?
Well, I'm getting through it, man. I'm getting through it. So we got some things. So
is life with your family? Is it on the card? Having the girls home all the
time? No.
It's not on the card?
No.
So you want to talk about
it? No.
No? You don't want to talk about it? It's fine.
So
does she cook every day?
Yeah.
She cooks every day?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much. What do you do? Well, you go to work.
So. I go to work, man. Nothing really changes.
All your mornings are gone, huh? I've been thinking about that. How all your mornings are gone. How's that feel? You want to talk about it? You want to talk about how
maybe later.
You've lost all your mornings?
Maybe later.
You've sacrificed your mornings to the virus? Talk about it.
Sacrifice to the virus.
Yeah.
Speaking it's funny.
You're changing the subject.
Yeah, shut up. What is? Oh, hold on a second. We got a pop up on my thing. What is this? No, I don't want to open that. Close this window.
Is it from brownsugarbabes.com?
No, but however, something somewhat similar. So back in episode 16 of Technically Directors, we talked a little bit about the show Naked and Afraid, right? And how we felt like how we would do on the show, and you talked about you watched it, in the past, and it's just crazy to see how these people, how they manage to get through or not get through these environments, and how we would try to adapt. And you mentioned priority number one, foot covering, right? I mean, all these things. So due to arch support, it's a very important thing, right? Yeah. Just like I have with my flip-flops. So it's funny. I guess a couple different movie channels. What do they call those things?
HBO?
Yeah, like what do they call those though? Like not
premium?
Yeah, premium channels. There you go, premium channels. Yeah. So some of these channels are free. So they've
because of the pandemic.
Exactly. So they're like, oh, well, while you're stuck at home, we're going to go ahead and give you 2 weeks of this and that and whatever. So Showtime is free. So I came home the other day, and I'm just scrolling through and seeing what's on and whatever. And I'm like, I'd never go to Showtime. I'm like, I have no idea what's on this thing, whatever, right? So I'm just like scrolling through, and then I see this movie called Sensual Survivalists. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I click on it. Yes. I click on it. And it's like this, like, it's like the worst. It's like these two people. It's clearly a spin from Naked and Afraid. It's like these two people. It's just like, and they've got like the knapsack thing, that they have on the TV show.
Wait a second. This is why I bring a blank index card.
For what?
Go on.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry. Showtime? You said Showtime?
Yes.
Sensual.
It was so bad.
Survivalist?
Yes.
Sensual survivalist. All right.
But it was just like, they showed like, it was like a behind the scenes thing, and they showed like the crew that hangs out. And it's just like, it was like these two people, and then they would like try to like make a fire or something, and then like the crew would all like surround them, and it would kind of like showing like the awkward like experiences that like they would on the show, like how this would work or something. I don't know. It was just.
Is this like a parody, or is it?
It was like I think like a softcore porn. It was like
Why are you whispering?
I don't know. I don't know who's in
He
that.
said softcore porn.
Yeah, but it was
It's
just
it was a softcore porn parody of Naked and
it
Afraid.
was just like so bad,
Yeah.
and so it just made me laugh because I'm just like, oh my god, this is hilarious.
How long did you watch it?
I don't know, like a few minutes, like, but it was just funny.
Well, that's really all you need.
That was like I don't need to get into the details, but I was like,
what's happening?
But you would see like
that
you would
must be
see that
so nerve-wracking.
They were like trying to stay warm, and then like I think at some point like they were having sex, and it was just like, oh my god.
Where's your family when you're watching this garbage?
No, I mean it was when I got home from.
Yeah.
It was just I was just like,
when you got home from work, so everybody was in bed.
I'm like, I got to go back to Fallon. I'm like, what is this? So it was. It was just really.
That
bad.
sounds so nerve-wracking to like.
It's really bad.
Because I get that. Because I like watching stuff that's ridiculous like that, just to see how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
Which is a good segue to my card.
Okay,
go to my card next.
Good.
But how nerve-wracking that is, like, because you're not watching it for the reason. You're watching it because it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But then, like, then your wife walks in. What are you watching? No. I thought it was silly. Or your daughter. That's
I just thought that was funny. I just wanted to bring that up. I'm like, oh my god, thanks a lot for being there. So it was funny. Anyway, what's on your card?
I found a show last night.
What'd you
find?
A
movie. So what I like to do is I scroll through. I was on Amazon and I found this movie. I'll just scroll through to see what's there, and you find on Amazon they have kind of like a dark section. I guess there's a section, I've never been in the section, but just like in the like new stuff or the recommended or whatever, stuff that's trending, these like obscure things will pop up, like conspiracy theories type movies, about like the Illuminati or things like that.
Right.
This one, I've never seen anything like this. This is different. It's called Assassin 33 AD.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Are you familiar with 33 AD? The year 33
AD? No.
That's the year Jesus was crucified.
Oh, right? Okay. Yes, I do know that year. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So again, the name of this movie is Assassin 33 AD.
Okay.
And what I've written here is the description. I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, go.
A group of young scientists accidentally create a time machine. A group of terrorists take over the time machine to go back in time to kill Jesus and stop Christianity.
I thought that's what started Christianity. Like the fact
right? Yes.
Didn't it?
Yeah. That was so.
He already died.
Later, but that's interesting. Yeah. It's funny that you came to that first, because spoiler alert, the terrorists are Islamic.
Okay.
So Islamic terrorists travel back in time.
He was also Middle Eastern
to prevent Christianity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
who comes
also,
up with these things?
How does that stop Christianity? Doesn't that kickstart it?
You would think. Yeah.
Isn't that what happened?
So it started like a few days earlier. So now Easter's in February.
But like I wondered, like these movies, like these like Christian movies, like I don't like Christian movies basically because I have a high bar for quality in movies.
Okay.
And those movies are usually pretty shallow and pedantic. They're just like, it's about Jesus, so it's awesome.
Yeah, I just want entertainment. Like,
right. So, but this is hateful, I think. Like, you seriously produced a movie about terrorists, like what? And these terrorists, I watched the trailer. You got to go watch the trailer.
What's the name of this thing?
Assassin
33 AD. 33 AD.
Yeah. Watch the trailer. It's on Amazon. Go to Amazon right now, search it, and watch the trailer.
Okay.
It's great quality movie. These terrorists,
they're
like rich Islamic businessmen.
Okay.
They're not like in a cave, like that whole like jihad thing. Oh, they say in the trailer, it's like the ultimate jihad.
Oh my god, that's awesome. That's so bad.
And it's not
so bad.
It's not a parody. It's not funny.
Right.
It's serious. It's like a group of Christians. I assume Tim Tebow, doesn't he have a production company now?
Yeah.
He makes movies. I think Tim Tebow did it.
You think he came up with that? I don't know about that. That's funny. So. That's funny.
Yeah, it's like, but that was funny later. I was like, wait a minute. Killing Jesus is how Christianity starts. You guys are idiots.
It's like, that's not going to work.
So
these crazy people.
I kind of want to watch it. I kind of want to see how the evil Islamic people get thwarted.
Maybe that should be our next episode of our director's cut. Assassin.
Oh, God.
AD.
Jesus.
33 AD.
Ooh. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yikes.
That'd be awesome.
So anyway, I found it quite insensitive to the people of Islam.
Yes. All right. Well, that's I'm sorry that. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good movie at all.
Go watch the trailer.
Speaking of that, though, did you watch the update to Tiger King? The episode 8?
I didn't.
I haven't seen that yet either.
I didn't watch the bonus episode. I haven't seen all the episodes inside. I've seen most of them now. I went back and watched some.
Okay, right.
Yeah. That Doc Antle guy, that's who I want to see the documentary on.
Oh.
Doc Antle, the guy in South Carolina.
Yeah.
With the harem.
Oh, yeah. It's like, where's his movie?
He's like the polar opposite of the Tiger King. Like, he's just pulling in ugly meth head dudes, while Doc Antle's bringing in all these like super hot girls that just want to live on his land and take care of his tigers.
It's a Carolina, man. There's a plethora of them. But, and he's the guy that just takes his elephant to like the gas station and stuff, right? Like to the convenience store. He just like takes his elephant down the street, goes grocery shopping. Like that's his car. He'd be like, all right, hey.
Here comes Doc Antle.
Stay here. I'll be right back. The elephant just stays put.
Stay.
Oh man! Speaking of other Netflix shows and whatnot, have you ever gotten into Ozark? Have you watched Ozark?
I watched the first season of it.
Jason Bateman.
Back in the day.
And that hasn't that didn't inspire you to watch season 2?
Well, I watched season 1, and then that was when I was still in Nashville.
Okay.
And then I kind of got on the thing where I didn't like watching like dark, gritty things. I just wanted to watch happy things that made me laugh.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
The only dark, gritty thing I watched was Game of Thrones, and then that severely let me down.
Oh yeah, no, I know all about that. We man, if we had this podcast last year, man, talk all about Game of Thrones. Anyway, season 3 just dropped of Ozark, and it was amazing. Mm-hmm. And we binge watched that like the weekend after we binge watched Tiger King. Ozark, very good. Jason Bateman, it's very dark. It's got twists, and it's just you need to go to the next episode right away after each one ends. Very good. Highly recommended. If you haven't checked it out, check out Ozark season 3. Obviously, watch season 1 and 2 first, but very good show. So there you go.
Yeah, that's around like where my parents live, actually.
In the Ozarks?
Just like north of where my parents live, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Because they're in Missouri, right? They're in the Missouri Ozarks?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So they've just opened up a casino riverboat that goes out. You can gamble on the casino riverboat. It's very nice. Well, a side note, the boat that I'm pretty sure that they mentioned during my Savannah anniversary trip last fall with the wife, that the riverboat that we went on up and down the Savannah River was the same boat that they used in filming for Ozark. I think that's what they said. So I may have been on the same boat. Anyway.
That is an amazing piece of trivia.
Minor detail. Yeah, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, so yeah, man. So what else? What else you got going on in your cards, man?
You're supposed to tell me what's going on outside.
Like the outside
after
world?
After Sunday?
Yeah.
After this Sunday,
yeah.
I won't go back to the station if the plan remains the same.
Right.
Until May 16th.
May
so
16th.
just shy of 4 weeks.
Oh, wow. So Adam's coming in weekends for 4 weeks straight?
Yeah. I go to the station 2 days a week, where it's me, Ryan, Alexis, and Rick.
And that's it.
Dallas is there, but Dallas is on the 4th floor.
Editing from upstairs.
Rob's there, but he's in the studio.
Right.
And then Rod and either Joseph or Bob or other Rob are outside on the camera.
Yeah.
So, but on the second floor, it's just me, Ryan, Alexis, and Rick. So I see those people for 2 days, and then I either go to Winn-Dixie. That's basically it. I go to Winn-Dixie.
That's your life.
So,
That's your life.
I haven't been anywhere other than a Winn-Dixie.
What about your liquor store, man? You're 21, 27,
dude,
727.
What did I tell you, man, about the beer? Their beer's all screwed up, man. I don't know what's going on with the beer. The last time I went was like 3 weeks ago or more.
That's ridiculous.
Time makes no sense to me. I don't even know how much time it's been.
Right.
Ryan
Nobody
called
knows
me
what
the other
day
day from work, and he said he wanted to know. He said, "What's the beer situation at 365? I need to know before I go." And I was like, "I haven't been there in 3 weeks, but they didn't have any then, so I don't mess with 365 anymore, man.
That's crazy.
They don't have beer anymore. I beer Winn-Dixie.
I shouted out to Ryan last night because there was this story that came out that said Busch Light is now offering free beer to couples for a year to couples who have had their weddings postponed or canceled due to the virus. And I said to Ryan, I'm like, oh, it's not Coors Light, but hey,
it's not Coors Light.
It's other shitty cheap beer for you. So try that.
Ryan called me yesterday.
Yeah.
He called me from his porch. His fiance is at work.
Okay.
Working at home. And his soon-to-be sister-in-law is also working from home.
Right.
In the same house. So he's just out on the porch drinking beer, calling people. So he called me yesterday.
That's awesome.
We talked for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
and he kept saying he's like, hey, if you're not doing anything, you just come sit on my porch. You don't have plans, come sit on my porch. So come sit on my porch. So.
Are you going to go do that?
But what we should do? No, we should do. We're still trying to work it out, but we should do this. He's mad. Ryan's mad because while I was talking to Ryan, I got 11 text messages from you and Shane and Adam in the bromance thread.
Right.
Okay.
Oh.
On my phone.
Yeah.
And I said, and after the 10th or 11th buzz, I was like, hang on a second. My phone is blowing up. So I look at it and I was like, oh, it's the bromance group. And Ryan goes, what's that? And I said, it's me and Shane and Kyle and Adam. He's like, why am I not included in the bromance group?
He's jealous. That's adorable.
And I was like, well, it's because it's the directors. We all sit in the same pod. And, Kyle's wife got in that sign that says Bromance Boulevard.
Exactly.
So it's just those four. I was like, I got all these different texts. I got a me and Kyle group, and then I got a me, Kyle, and Adam group, and I got a me and Shane group, and I got a me, Shane, and Kyle group, and a me, Shane, and Adam group, and he goes, oh, there's a Seth, Ryan, Adam, Rod group. I was like, yeah,
right.
It's just all the different groups.
Yeah.
So I give some of them names so I know who's in it. And he goes, well, I feel like I should be in the bromance group.
Oh man.
He goes, I took that picture of y'all where you're holding up that sign. I should be. I was like, yeah, you took the picture.
You weren't in the picture. Exactly. Oh, Ryan. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, he was mad yesterday because I guess his Nest home thermostat unit, whatever, died on him. But on the flip side, he just got his Trump money.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, it's not so bad. Just use your Trump money, get it fixed. It's fine.
Use your Trump money. Yeah, that's what he texted me today because we were going to try to hang out at some point today, social distance hangout.
Right.
And but he said his AC is out and a guy's coming, so he's going to let me know.
Gotcha.
But what I was going to say is we could do something like this, like what we're doing now as we're recording this. I can see you because we're using Zoom.
Right.
I don't know if anybody's heard of Zoom. I'd never heard of it before 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
but now
seriously.
It's all over the place. SNL's doing skits about it. It's unreal. But we should set up a Zoom thing with the bromance group also Ryan can come or whoever. We can all set it up so we can all hang out and have a beer and chill or whatever.
That's a great idea actually. When I mentioned Seth Shane the other day, I said, hey man, I said, do you Zoom? Do you have Zoom? He's like, no man, I don't need that. I have no reason to do that. He said, I have
no reason to do that.
I'm not gonna have a meeting on Zoom.
I have no one I want to see and no one I want to talk to.
I'm like, fine, all right. And he's like, everybody I talk to, they've got FaceTime. And I'm like, well, you know what? There are some people out there without Apples, without iPhones. So this is what you got to do. But
I like this because I'm not holding my phone. I'm
Yeah.
just talking to my computer.
Nice and convenient for you. I've just got my phone propped up. I'm good to go. I mean, if we weren't recording the podcast, I wouldn't need the mixer and the giant headphones and the microphone. But this is cool too. It works. I like this. It's a good little setup.
We can play Jeopardy.
We could totally play Jeopardy. Oh God,
Yeah.
My desk is like it's like a time capsule. And have I mentioned that to you? Because it's it's still stuck on I think March 15th or something. Is the last day.
I think it's before that. Isn't it before that?
March 13th? I don't know. Something
because
that.
No, I think it's March 1st. We were behind before all this started happening.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. I gave those days. Okay, I ripped off that week and gave it to Shane to build the questions, the PowerPoint. And then I think it stopped on March 15th was the start of that new week. And I never ripped anything off that. And it's just I don't sit at that desk anymore either. So it's just my desk is a little empty time capsule of better days when I would sit at my desk and be current with my daily Jeopardy calendar. So now I'm behind by a month, and I don't even know if Shane has those questions from that previous week, and I don't know. We need to do that again sometime soon though. We can't wait. That's I think that's important. I think that'd be fun. And if we did it on Zoom, that'd be fun too. We should record it. Be good.
We could do it on Zoom. Yeah.
Have a little Shane bubble up here, and then you and me over here, and then we can answer the questions. And I don't know. We can take our little buzzers. You should grab your buzzer this week. You should grab your buzzer.
Can he feed in a video his little
yeah, because there's this option of
PowerPoint.
There's the share button, and I think you can share. Documents.
Share screen.
I think you can share Yeah, I can share documents and photos. Google Drive. So maybe if he puts it on the drive, then we can just do that. I don't know. Share box. What does that mean? Oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
What do you got? What does that look like?
Box just went away. I don't know what box is. What is that? Oh, I just.
You see this?
Oh, I see Teams now. I do see that.
You see Teams.
What'd you do?
That's my Teams. Yeah. I shared my Teams screen. What does it look like on your screen?
I see Good Morning TGIF. Virtual has all the right hand. Okay, 16 monitors. So they're having a little conversation. I'm reading the conversation. Look at that. That's amazing. Lonnie,
what does your screen look like?
It's literally it's your Teams screen, and then you're down here in the bottom right corner. Wow.
All you see is Teams?
All I see is Teams.
Okay.
I mean, I see you down the very bottom corner of my screen. Now I see you full. How do I go back to my boxes? There you are. All right, better. What did you do? So did you do that? You changed your thing.
Yeah, I did it.
Interesting.
I'm going to turn the share off.
I don't know how the hell this thing works. No idea.
Your screen sharing is paused. Resume share. You see my mouse moving around?
No, not anymore. Because I'm back to boxes. Okay. So did you change something?
I just turned it off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just back to our boxes. Little double box. It's fine.
It's fine.
Everything's fine. Oh man.
Everything is fine.
Everything's fine. All right, so I've got something else to talk about here. I've mentioned in the past that I like watching I like Little People, right? Have I mentioned Have I mentioned that? Little.
Yeah, you like
Little People.
The smaller, the fun side.
Yeah. People. So, Little People, Big World has come back on TLC. I've watched that show. It's a good, fun show to watch. Family show. New episodes.
New stuff?
Yeah, new episodes. Yeah.
Is it the same Little People?
Stuff that was filmed last year, but it's new episodes.
Is it the same Little People?
Yeah, Little People, Big World, man. It's a good show.
It's the same people?
Yeah, with the roll-offs. It's the same people. Same family.
How long?
Family doesn't change.
How many seasons of this are there?
It's 20-something, man. It's been a long time.
Are they that fucking interesting?
I don't know, man. They've got that farm. There's lots of fun things on the farm. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. That was just my segue. All right, so what I'm getting at is that another genre of things that I like are biracial buddy comedies.
It's really specific.
I mean, like Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd. Okay. Right.
That's not really a buddy movie, but all right.
Trading Places.
It's not really a buddy movie.
It's a funny movie. Danny Glover, Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon. right?
Yeah, buddy cop.
Morgan Freeman, Tim Robbins, Shawshank. You know, right? Maybe not. Maybe not a comedy.
Not a buddy movie.
You know, there's like a Weekend Update. You know, you got Che and Jost, right? Colin Jost, Michael Che, right?
Yeah.
King of Queens. Yeah. You got Doug and Deacon. Do you ever watch King of Queens? Love that show. Psych.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Psych? No.
No.
And then you've got.
What are we doing here?
You've got Turk and JD from Scrubs. Do you ever watch Scrubs?
That's a hard pass.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I can't stand Zach Braff. He's insufferable.
Oh man,
I'm so glad that he's not famous anymore.
I really imagined this conversation.
He was so overrated,
going totally different.
What did you what?
Zach
Which
Braff.
one of us is the Which one of us is the African American in our little buddy duo? Who gets
first,
to be the black man?
I would probably say that I'm
me, please.
Yeah, probably you. I would probably say that I'm the JD, and you could be the Turk, but
I'm definitely more of a Turk than a JD.
So Zach Braff and Donald Faison just started a new podcast. It's called Fake Doctors, Real Friends. They're a couple episodes in. It's a Scrubs rewatch. So each episode they talk about.
Gross.
Oh my
God. No thanks.
I was so secretly hoping that you'd be like, "Oh, I used to love Scrubs. I watched every episode. I know the whole show." No.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, man. No.
I was so excited for this topic. I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, I'm sure he's a Scrubs fan. We have so much in common."
You know why?
So disappointed.
Zach Braff is doing this podcast because he's doing nothing else, and he's been doing nothing else for 8 years, ever since Garden State, that shitty movie.
When did Scrubs end? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sucks.
Sorry.
This was supposed to be a really fun topic of discussion that I was looking forward to getting into with you.
I'm sorry. I don't.
Because that's like the epitome of the biracial buddy comedies. I love it. Turk and JD. Brown Bear.
Can we talk about that?
Believable.
This genre you've created?
Yeah.
No one has ever pointed out.
Are you serious? You've never heard of this? Biracial buddy comedies.
Biracial buddy
comedies.
No.
Yeah. It's awesome.
No.
They're like the best group. I gave you such a long list. I mean,
No. I never. It wasn't until you itemized it that I realized that most of these buddy movies, it's biracial. I never thought about it.
A lot of them are.
You know what I'm saying? So, because you left out Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard. Yeah, I mean, you've got Reginald Johnson and Bruce Willis. I mean, that kind of also fits.
Love that guy.
The category. He's not dead yet.
I never thought about that. So, okay, so what about, did you see the movie with The Rock and Kevin Hart, Central Intelligence?
Oh, I never saw that. One.
Does that count?
But that would count.
Is that
that would
biracial?
Count. Yeah.
Does that count?
Yeah, biracial.
Because he's like Samoan.
Because even but
he's black and Samoan.
Like Rush Hour, like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker.
All right.
I mean,
I never thought about. I never thought about the fact that they were different races. That's just never what I thought about.
That's the comedy.
Just never.
It's like that's the comedy. Like, man, don't you understand what's coming out of my mouth? Man, nobody understands words that are coming out of your mouth.
Okay, well, Rush Hour, that's the comedy.
Right. But that's the comedy.
Hour. So like Shanghai Noon. It's
Shanghai
Rush Hour,
Noon.
but with Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson, yeah, you're right. Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson, yeah. Biracial buddy comedies.
Owen Wilson.
I'm telling you, man, it's a super popular group. Hang on.
With the Jackie Chan movies, the fact that they're different races is a part of it, I think.
Right.
But I never thought about it like Lethal Weapon. It doesn't matter that they're different races. The fact that they're different races doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Right. I mean, and Die Hard
that doesn't matter.
It's kind of more of an action. I don't know if that necessarily, it kind of fits, but not totally in my realm.
So your favorite movies are the biracial buddy comedies.
Some of my favorite movies are biracial buddy.
That's not Blazing
Saddles. Blazing Saddles. See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
Well, that one.
I mean, it's,
that's a good movie. That's a good
There's
movie.
a lot of good
But
options
that
out
doesn't
there.
have to do with the fact that they're different races. It has to do with the fact one of them is deaf and one of them is blind.
I know, but that's like an added layer. That's like biracial squared. It's crazy, man.
This conversation is starting to get to a place that I don't know I want to get to.
Oh my god, I love King of Queens.
That's not
right?
what this
With
is for.
we've talked about that before, right? Because I love Kevin James. I think he's
You
hilarious.
love Kevin James
and his
you
brother.
love Kevin James' brother.
I've seen his brother already a couple times.
You paid money to see Kevin James' brother.
Yeah, I have.
Which is what it says on the ticket.
Gary Valentine. Yeah. Anyway, but
come see Kevin James' brother.
But on King of Queens, Doug's favorite or Doug's best friend is Deacon, and he's the black guy. Yeah, and they have fun thing. It's just funny.
I don't think it's a. First of all, King of Queens is not a buddy comedy of any sort. It's a movie about a dumbass and his bitch wife. That's what that show's about. Okay, she's super mean. He's super stupid. That's what that show's about.
Yeah, but their friendship is a big part of it. I mean, Deacon's in many.
Yeah, but that's not what the show's about.
No, it's not the whole premise of the show.
It's
a big part of it. They
Kevin
work together.
Being stupid and getting yelled at by his mean wife.
Yeah, that's the main premise. Yeah.
And it was on for how long? Like 27 years because of that.
King of Queens was on for probably 8, 9, 10 years, something like that. It's a funny show.
As long as Scrubs.
I love that show. Scrubs was on for 8 years. I can't believe you don't like Scrubs. I was so looking forward to having a conversation with you about Scrubs. Sorry. Turk and JD, no. Brown Bear, no. Anyway, it's fine.
Zach Braff is the worst. Turk is great. I like Turk, and I like the mean doctor. What's the mean doctor's name?
Dr. Cox. Anyway, yeah.
Dr. Cox.
There it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Sarah Chalk. It's Second Becky.
Second Becky,
yeah. So anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that they just released a new podcast last week, Fake Doctors, Real Friends. I'm a fan. I've listened to all the episodes already so far. I think they released 2 a week.
Are there?
There's 4. It's 2 a week, and they're just little. Sometimes they've got a guest, sometimes they don't, and they're just recaps. They're watching the whole show. So they started with the pilot, episode 1, 2, 3, I think episode 4. So and then it's just talking about little behind the scenes trivia things, and it's I've enjoyed it, and I'm a fan, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for another podcast to spend your quarantine time to listen to. So there you go.
So I'm going to make a different recommendation.
Okay.
Because I'm not recommending that.
Okay.
But it's not completely dissimilar from that in that what I'm listening to is called actually what is it called? Kingslinger.
Okay.
That's what it's called. These two guys are talking about Stephen King's epic opus, magnum opus, the Dark Tower series.
Yep.
Right. And what it is one of the guys has read them all before several times, and the other guy has never read them and has only read a couple of Stephen King books. So they're reading parts of the books in order and stopping and then talking about it each week.
Okay.
And they're doing the whole series.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a while since I've read them. It's interesting to hear, but it's a weird time to listen to it too, and it's fresh. They just started in January. I'm not far from catching up to them where they're reading books. But one of the things that's odd is that when it starts out, have you ever read any of these books?
I've read Stephen King books. I have not read any of the Dark Tower books.
Which ones have you read?
Just Stephen King.
Yeah.
Misery, It, the Shawshank short story. I want to say there's a few others, but I can't think of them right now.
Did you read The Stand?
No, it was too daunting. It was too
daunting. You read It.
Yeah,
it's longer than The Stand. And it's horrible. Really? I hate that book. I can't even finish it. I can't get a quarter of the way through it and I have to it's too boring.
Really? It? Jeez.
Yeah.
No, The Stand, I don't know. The Stand just looked, I don't know, maybe I haven't seen them side by side, but I've seen The Stand on the shelf, and it's just like I can't even. I'm not gonna
It
go
is
there.
at least as long as The Stand. At
Oh,
least.
maybe it is. Okay.
Um,
Anyway, but
um,
oh, you know what else? I've got a book.
when this
So I've my favorite, and this is like total blasphemy for any Stephen King fan. But my favorite Stephen King book is a book called Faithful, based off the 2004 World Series Red Sox
he's a
winning
huge
team.
Red Sox fan.
I mean, he's huge.
You're wearing your Red
Sox fan.
Sox shirt right
I'm
now.
wearing my Red
You
Sox.
should be the
That's crazy.
Yeah, you should be the Stephen King fan.
And I've seen Stephen King because I was at the ring ceremony in 2005, opening day, and he was across the park, but I was able to point him out. I saw where he was, his season ticket seat behind home plate. But anyway, that book that came out, he just like chose a season with, I forget the guy who he wrote it with, Stephen Onan or something, I think. And they were just going to document this season, like just for the hell of it. So they just started in April, whatever. They had no idea, obviously, what was going to happen and how it would end up and breaking the curse and the whole deal. But it just so happened that it all happened that season. And so they documented everything, and then the playoff run, whatever. And it's just awesome just to read, and from diehard Red Sox fans, and, with the voice of Stephen King, who's, it's just, not writing horror, which is kind of a different dichotomy from what he's, used to doing. So, but anyway, that's probably just, a personal thing. One of my favorite Stephen King books. Anyway.
Probably a Stephen King book I wouldn't necessarily read.
Yeah, probably not. You got to be a Red Sox fan to enjoy it, but that's all right. You were in the middle of,
It's fine.
Stephen King.
It's fine.
You had asked me if I read, and then you were talking about the.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say about the podcast about the way the Dark Tower starts. The first book is called The Gunslinger.
Okay.
And they're kind of setting up the setting, and it keeps being described as a place that has moved on. It's a world that has moved on. And as you're reading it, you don't really know, like, is this a different world? Is this our world? Is this the future? It kind of has these like post-apocalyptic undertones.
Okay.
Yet it feels like a Western, it's kind of like a Western setting.
Right.
So it's an interesting thing to be listening to now, like, cause like you go out and it's weird because there's like so few people and they're wearing masks and there's no toilet paper.
Yeah.
There's this whole new normal of things. So it's an interesting thing to go back and listen to right now, listening to them talk about it. And it's funny too, because they started it in January.
Yeah.
And they just now first made a reference to the whole COVID-19 thing because it, just started happening,
right.
on the recordings. So, it's probably not as uplifting and as exciting as listening to JD and Turk.
This is how I spend my days.
Being insufferable.
Oh my God,
that's good. Though.
But there are a lot of parallels, I imagine, between what they're talking about and then the world that we're currently living in now. Is that what they're kind of starting to put together, or?
They're not really putting that together. It's more of a me thing when I first started listening, because when they were talking about the Gunslinger, this was back in January.
Okay, so that was before. Right.
So once they got past that, they were past that by the time the COVID thing started. They did make one reference to the COVID thing recently.
Okay.
In something that they recorded earlier in March. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing to listen to. I've got The Stand over here, and I'm not going to read it. I know people are watching things like Pandemic and Contagion and
right.
Outbreak, and I'm like, no.
I'm good.
I think I'll just watch Naked and Afraid.
I'm living it right now. I don't need to go ahead and read about it as well.
Yeah.
That's funny.
What else is on your card?
I've always been into music, and I'm a big 80s music fan, right? So I've got this, my very first mixtape that I remember ever making, creating, whatever the hell. I still have it. It's from 1987, possibly 88. Obviously, the date is kind of hard to tell. But songs that are ripped off the radio. And I eventually, I think I burned it into a CD and stuff, whatever. And so, I don't know, I've had it, whatever. Anyway, it's a great fun little mixtape and little time capsule of the 80s. So I was like, 7, 8, whatever, I guess 6, 7. Anyway, so somehow it came up. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was trying to think of the first song on that tape, and it's one of those things where, like, you know, when you just try to like think of something, and then you can't come up with the answer. And so I spent like 3 days just like constantly trying to remember. Like, I can hear the song in my head and I'm just like, what is that song? Like, I would hear like a few words, you know, and I'm like, is that, and I can't think of it, whatever. And so it was just this, like, I'm spending 3 days like just racking my mind before trying to come up with what the hell song I was thinking of. And I finally found the answer the other day.
Did you find the tape?
No, I didn't
CD?
find it. No, I gotta find. I didn't.
It just popped in your head.
It finally
just popped in your head.
Yeah, popped into my head that I was able to realize.
Well, I'm at the edge of my bar stool. Why don't you tell me what it was?
Belinda Carlisle, "I Get Weak."
Wow,
it's a deep cut. So, but which leads me to
that's Kyle in a nutshell, man.
So no, it's a great song. It's a great song.
That's Kyle,
former lead singer of the
Belinda
Go-Go's.
Carlisle. What is it? I Get Weak?
Yeah, she had Heaven is a Place on Earth, you know. Belinda Carlisle.
Yeah, that's
very big in the 80s.
I knew that one.
So so anyway, I was like, oh my God, that's the song, right? So I pulled it up, YouTube. I'm like, I got to listen.
You were 7 years old. You were a 7-year-old boy.
And that's the song
you
that
recorded off the radio.
That's the song that when I'm sitting there at my boombox, listening to the radio, getting ready with my finger on play and record, when, you know, to create a mixtape. At 7,
no, I know the process.
You know, and I hear that song, like, that's the song that I choose, and so I play and record. It records the song. So I went back and listened to it. And I haven't heard this song in a really long time.
Yeah.
So I went back and listened to it. Super inappropriate for like a 6-7-year-old to be listening to.
What's it about?
I mean, it's totally about this woman who's trembling in his hands and laying in bed together, and I'm just like, heart's all tangled up, you know, my tongue is tied. It's just like it's all very love and sexual and whatever, and I'm just like, I was like, I really enjoy
sensual survivalist.
I'm like, I love it, to tie it all back, right? I'm like, I loved this song, and like this was the one that I was listening to at, you know, 7-8 years old. I'm like,
we talked about,
it's crazy.
It's like Conway Twitty, man. It's like Conway Twitty.
Like just like Conway Twitty. All his songs were about fucking.
About banging.
It's like Kiss too.
Sing songs about banging virgins, banging strangers, banging married people, banging ex-girlfriends. It's cool. Banging. That's all he's singing about.
Were you listening to Conway Twitty at 8?
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, the grandma's house, man.
Oh,
Conway was always on.
She
Conway,
put that on.
Johnny, Merle, Dolly Parton,
man,
George Jones, all that stuff.
Kenny Rogers, rest in peace.
Kenny Rogers.
Yeah. Anyway, that was just it was a stressful, fun little antidote for this week, and I thought I'd bring that up as well.
What made you think of it? It just popped in your head?
I don't know. I was like sitting. I was ADing a show, and then something triggered.
That's what you've been thinking about.
That's what I'm thinking. So like, I spent the rest of that show trying to come up with the answer. I'm like, I couldn't think of it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is killing me. I'm like, what is the name of that song? What is that song that I'm thinking of? And finally, like 2-3 days later,
it's been fun creeping in on that PL.
Has it really?
Listening.
Have you had any conversations at all with anyone other than me or Shane?
No, Adam.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't been you and Adam on the same line at the same time, has it? Could you guys
on the weekends?
Oh, on the weekends, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bet it's been fun. You probably pick up on a lot, like.
I mean, there's no surprises.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's helpful. Like if you got the rundown in front of you and you're listening in.
Yeah.
To hear something happening, make sure it's gonna like. You know, I've heard things go down and I'm like watching like just to make sure like someone's on top of it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get in and do it while there's someone else there.
Right. It was funny.
Do it, so.
Adam was listening in yesterday and he heard Nancy say something about, I'm killing this or whatever. And so I was like, hey, Adam, you want to do something? And then like, boom, like the change to the code like appeared and he's like, I'm on top of things, man. So, and then I told him about how on Monday, I completely just went and did my own thing. I was like, and Seth was all mad. I was like, "What are you doing, man? What do you think I'm doing here for?" I'm like, "I'm here. I'm as your AD." I'm like, "Do you want me to just hang up, go away? Like, let me do something." So,
I'll go have a beer if you don't want my help, man.
So it's just been interesting to like have an AD, a virtual AD for like the 7 and 8, whatever, when you guys aren't there, and nobody else is there, and then to just kind of like sit back and be like, oh, that's right. Like you guys are still there and on top of things. Yeah. We appreciate that.
So on the weekends, it's like that, but also I don't touch the 8 o'clock.
Gotcha.
Adam codes all of it. I don't touch it.
Right.
And then like half an hour before I go and look and see if there's anything that I want to change or, makes more sense to me or whatever.
Right.
And I run through things too. I can see it. So I'm like, oh, well, that actually doesn't work with what you're doing. So let's do this. But, which is how I would prefer our situation to be right now, like during the week. Like if we're going to be doing this remotely, why don't you let me do the 5:30? Like I'll just code the 5:30
right.
or whatever. But with someone like Shane, I understand the way Shane works. He doesn't want people touching his stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's fine. And what's super frustrating, I gotta tell you, man, I don't know, like the way y'all do your notes, like they make no sense to me. I'm like, why do you jumble this information up in this manner? Like, why do you even put notes? This is more confusing. Like, and why is it so like it's everybody does it different. Like the only people that do it right are me and Adam. Everything else is wrong. I'm like
I feel the same way about my codes. I think that like some people put in like Shane, I was giving him a hard time yesterday. He's for like the teases. He puts in like TZ/G1. I'm like, he's like you put down things that are unnecessary and irrelevant and not needed on the rundown. I'm like, oh, but TZ/G1 is. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Do you know why it says TZ?
He's because like, to let you know that it's a
tease. But they used to have to code it a certain way.
Exactly.
They had very specific code teases that don't exist anymore.
Right.
So that's just an artifact.
He still does
some of these things that are and I'm like, well, this is an artifact, and I like whatever. But like, do you have to put the word patio?
No. Who does?
Like we know where he is.
It's ridiculous.
Like he's not moving. Why do you have to? So whenever I coded it all, because to me it's a one shot.
Yeah.
That's what it actually is.
Yeah.
Like it's a one shot. It's formatted as a one shot by the producer. So I'm like one shot, this person. And that's the other thing too. Like
Shane was going off on that too. He's like, you don't have to write one shot. You just write their name. I'm like, he said it's right there in the shot column. And I'm like, well,
But I'm not looking at the shot column.
Right.
That's what the notes are for.
Yeah.
I take all that information and I put it in the notes.
Yeah.
So I look at the notes and I can glance, and that's why it says Jen, one shot, video in the notes column. Who is it? What is it? That's all I care about.
Yeah.
So like when it says Squirta Keith, I'm like, why is it backwards? Like put it the name first. Who is it? What is it?
Yeah.
That's how it makes sense to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that.
And I don't care that other people do things differently.
Yeah.
I don't. But what does drive me crazy is that like I go in and I code something, and someone who's apparently pressed for time, which is why I'm doing this for them, goes in and redoes it all so that the notes look like their notes. I'm like, well, then do it. Then you do it.
Yeah.
Like if you've got enough time to do that, then why am I helping you?
Don't waste
Just
my
do
time.
it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I have to sit here and think about like, how would I put the notes in for you because this is how you put them in.
Yeah.
Like it's going to take me forever because I have to like completely shift my paradigm on things that make sense to me and the information that I need there.
I've made a few changes,
and also,
but I've tried
so
to
sloppy.
No,
it's so sloppy. Yours too. Sloppy.
Mine is super even. What are you in uniform?
No, it's just it's
concise.
So sloppy.
I'm not sloppy.
And when these people,
what are you talking about?
They have codes that goes this long, and then there's like two little letters at the bottom. No, why? How can you stand to see that? You look at mine; it looks like you gave me the phone list.
Yeah,
and it's all perfectly lined up.
Yeah,
that's what my rundown looks like.
That's what my notes column looks like.
It's perfect.
Look at an 8 o'clock show.
Why you have all those pluses? You got the parentheses for the times, and then you got like 17 spaces, and then you got 14 periods, and then you got 14 plus signs. What's all that doing in there? What are you doing with all that?
That's what I put in beforehand, before the information is entered. And
But
so
then
that when I get
all that bullshit out.
when I get the information, I fill it in, and then if I
Why
don't have
you just leave it blank?
if I don't have the information by the time the show starts, then that stays in there, and then already those little pluses are there so that they're like new additions, and so that I can go ahead and tell the floor crew, like, hey, this is something that you didn't have on your printed rundown.
This is why I should be a dictator.
Oh my God. I think my notes are super even, concise, and short. I don't put any random information. I get rid of like TZ/G1. There's nothing in my T's column unless it's a SOT. Everything's nice and even, and some things don't have notes because they don't need notes. Whatever, man.
So why don't you have to put one shot? What is Shane talking about?
Because he's like, it's right there in the shot column. And I'm like, I said,
well,
but I don't look
Squirta. So why do you put Squirta in it? So then why do you put Squirta in the notes?
That's a good point. I
don't understand.
I should have come back with that. I didn't come back with that. I should have.
Yeah, it's just like, my way is the only way that makes sense. Yeah. Adam does it my way because he's great.
My way is the only way that makes sense, but that's all right.
It is. It's the only one that makes sense. It's the best way.
My way.
My way is always the best way. I don't understand why people can't understand that.
Look, I'm doing the Blake Shelton thing.
Get that my way is the best way.
The Blake Shelton thing. My way.
I don't know what Blake Shelton, what that means.
From The Voice, he would always pick me. Pick me. No? No? All right, forget it. All right, whatever.
Didn't watch a lot of The Voice.
That's all right. All right, anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up, man. So it's been fun. Well, enjoy the rest of your quarantine Friday. Today's a day off, so you don't have to go ahead and go to work. And
I think I'm having chicken. I think I'm having chicken wings.
Go ahead and make some chicken wings tonight. That'll be fun.
No, ordering chicken wings.
Oh, you got to order some chicken wings.
Right. I cook like 2 meals a day.
Okay.
Like every day.
Okay.
So today, Daisy is ordering food.
Nice. Good deal.
Because she wants wings. So I don't have to cook today.
Perfect, man. Enjoy your wings.
I do have to cook stuff, though. I'm hungry. I got so much food. My fridge makes me so happy. Right
Does it really?
It is so full of food.
I think the wife and kids said they were going to go ahead and get us some lunch. So that's what you want to ask? Unbelievable.
She has a question?
So, yeah,
speaking to the microphone.
She didn't. No, she already left.
Call her back. Here, I'll text her.
No, wait a minute. You got the number? Anyway, that's wrong. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. So I'm gonna have some lunch and then I'm gonna leave and then you're gonna go do your thing and I gotta go to work and it'll be fun. So anyway, it's been fun and this has been another quarantine edition of Technically Directors with Kyle and Seth.
Socially distanced quarantine edition. What episode is this?
This is going to be episode 20. This is a milestone.
This is episode 20?
This is episode 20.
This is episode 20?
We totally
I would have been more prepared. Yeah,
it should have been a little bit better structured, but we're still trying to work out the kinks here with this whole, we're trying a different setup here, obviously. Now we've got some video included, so maybe we'll post some of this. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But it'll be fun. So you can play around with that.
So, have we signed off yet?
Yeah, we will right now. For Technically Directors, this is Kyle.
I'm Seth.
And we'll be back, guys, later on. Thanks a lot.
Bye. Did you just make an angry face at your wife?
No.
That looked like irritation.